Hey, yo, Derek, man, you suck. Bro, you can't even hit a foul ball and then make it go fair because you suck.
Got the type of teams they're going to construct and, you know, the thinking that goes into it. That ball started 3 feet foul and took a right-hand turn. I believe it caught the cut of the grass in foul territory.
Okay. What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap video. I just want to say thank you guys all so much for stopping by. I do have one quick little note. If you guys are not subscribed or if you don't have those bells rung, make sure you guys do that because I will be coming out with a second video from today. I will be debuting Immortal George Brett on MLB The Show 18, and I'm so excited. I put a lot of effort into it, so if I can see you guys there, that would mean a lot to me. Without further ado, let's get back to the baseball news. Alright, guys, so yesterday the Chicago Cubs were playing against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we all know, unfortunately, that the Pirates are out of the playoff race, but the Cubs, they are still in the thick of things, and yesterday it got a little bit crazy, and let's see how the game ended.
And it will be Almora. Comes in on an 0-2 pitch. Albert Almora.
And there you have it, folks. Albert Almora Jr. is able to get the job done and get that walk-off base hit. Now, that does mean that the Chicago Cubs, they did clinch a postseason spot and a playoff spot already. So whether that means the NL Central or the wild card, the Cubs are automatically going to be in the playoffs. And also, one more team in the NL Central clinched a playoff spot. So let's go ahead and see how that works, because how do two teams in the... Just roll it, and then I'll tell you later.
Cardinals down to their last strike. 2 outs in the ninth. Jeffress deals. Back to the postseason. Milwaukee. Wow. A sweep of the Cardinals, and the Brewers have secured a berth.
So here's how it's going to work. Either the Cubs are going to win the NL Central and the Brewers are going to make the wild card, or the Brewers are going to win the NL Central and the Cubs will make the wild card. So either way, they are guaranteed a spot in a playoff game. I was getting a lot of questions on Twitter asking, Fuzzy, you know, how do two teams from the same division clinch on the same day? So I just wanted to explain to you guys real quick. Same division, but two different playoff spots. One more thing about the Brewers is I did not know their MVP candidate, Christian Yelich, was so close to the Triple Crown. So he's first in batting average. He's third in home runs. Now, the only thing is he's 3 behind the leader, so I don't think he's going to come away with that, and he's 6 RBIs away from being #1 in the National League. So is he gonna do it? I'm not sure, but right now the debate between Javier Baez and Christian Yelich, it's never been better, so I just can't wait to see who's gonna take that award. It's gonna be great. The Athletics are trying to go for home field advantage, so right now the Yankees are in first place, the Athletics are in second, but they're really close to each other. We will go over all these standings in just a second towards the end of the video, but yesterday the Athletics, they went off.
Oh, right field and deep. Gamble back, and that baby's gone. Grand slam for the A's. Chris Davis, right field, that's hit well. Gamble's back, Gamble near the wall, and that baby's gone.
We saw Matt Olson hit a grand slam. Chris Davis has a Major League Baseball leading 47 home runs on the year. And again, guys, like I mentioned yesterday or a couple days ago, they have the lowest payroll in all of baseball. And I just want to give the A's some props. So if you're an A's fan, if you spend just maybe a little bit more money next year, maybe to get Bryce Harper, oh my gosh, the Athletics, they're going to be really good for a long time because they're all pretty young too. And coming up next, I'm going to have to get a drink of water because we have a conversation to start. We have a debate to get into. Okay, let's do it. All right, guys, so I'm going to ask you a question before I give you the player that we're talking about. So if you have a pitcher, right, and he has a top 10, top 15 performance of all time in terms of a season, do you think he's going to win the Cy Young Award? Most of you say yes, automatically. He deserves it.
And a swing and a miss. Chase that one. And who comes down swing?
But some people think that because Jacob deGrom has a 10-9 record that he does not deserve the NL Cy Young. So if I read his stats, I'm looking off to my stat sheet. Jacob deGrom lowers his ERA to 1.7. Yesterday he went 8 innings pitched, did not give up a single run, and he had 10 strikeouts. On the year, he has 29 straight 3 or less performances. That's just insane. And he has 24 straight quality starts. Oh yeah, and the cherry on top, so in the entire year of 2018, Jacob deGrom has given up more than 3 runs only one time, and that was a 4 spot. So he's only given up 4 runs one time. Give him the award. I don't care how well Max Scherzer is pitching, and don't get me wrong, I am a massive Max Scherzer fan. I think that in any other year he wins the award, but all that it comes down to is Jacob deGrom is having an all-time performance, and I just think that you have to give it to him this year, especially considering he went from 8-9 to 9-9 to 10-9. So I think that the award is deGrom's to lose. So we just talked about Jacob deGrom and the fact that he's making history. Another player for the Colorado Rockies tied Major League Baseball history yesterday. So German Marquez, remember that name, German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies yesterday. He was pitching and he had 8 strikeouts in a row to start the game, which tied a major league record. I was watching it live and I was hoping that he had that 9th strikeout, but unfortunately he was not able to get it. So we're gonna roll that and then I have something else to show you from the same game.
Same with the changeup.
But he's had a good.
And he took a big workload the year.
6 shutout. And he is 0-2. Swung on and missed. That just tied the major league record since 1900.
So we saw the 8 straight strikeouts. We also learned that German Marquez is now the Rockies franchise leader for most strikeouts in a single season. Another thing about that game is Trevor Story is coming back. So he was injured, he came back, and yesterday he showed the league why the Rockies are nothing to mess with.
This ball crushed. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Up on the concourse. He wanted a Helton burger. Burgers and tacos for everybody.
There you go. He wants tacos. He doesn't want a burger.
When you have Kyle Freeland as your ace, German Marquez, Antonio Sensatella, all in your rotation who are pitching extremely well, and when you have Nolan Arenado as not even the best player that you've had this year, you know you're going to be scary. Oh yeah, and the Dodgers lost yesterday, so that just means that the NL West just got a whole lot closer, and we'll talk about the standings in just a second, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love baseball. Baseball is the best sport. I don't care who says otherwise, but let's just get into the next topic because I'm going to get too passionate and get too crazy. I'll just forget what I'm saying. Oh man, I forgot that this was on the agenda. So Bryce Harper yesterday might have played his final game in Nationals Park, his final home game as a Washington National. So over the 7 years, he was a 6-time All-Star. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2012. He won the MVP in 2015. And his 162-game average was 32 home runs, 91 RBIs, and a 278 batting average. So the batting average, not the best that you've ever seen in your life, and it's mostly because of this year because he's hitting under 250. But now I have to turn it back to you guys. If you are a general manager for the Phillies, the A's, the Yankees, how much are you willing to give Bryce Harper considering the fact that he's only played more than 150 games twice in his career, so 2 out of 7 years, which is not great. So he's been injured quite a bit, but when he's on top of his game, he is a top 3 player in all of Major League Baseball. So if I was in the shoes of a general manager, I would give him no more than $300 million just because he's injured a lot, and that's my only thing. It's because of his injury past. It's almost like saying, are you going to give Grady Sizemore $300 million? Well, no, because he's had a ton of surgeries and he gets injured a lot. So you kind of have to play the odds. Me, I would go no more than $300 million. And one more thing, you heard it here first. I am going to predict the 2019 AL and NL MVP awards. So in the American League, I think that Bryce Harper will win the 2019 MVP for the Yankees, and the National League, Chris Bryant's going to come back and win his 2nd MVP for the Cubs. So that's my predictions. What do you guys think? It's a very bold statement, but you know I like bold statements. What do you guys think?
Lindor socks one, deep left field. There it is, number 37 for Lindor, and the Indians will play from in front. It's another leadoff home run for Francisco Lindor. It's the 9th of the season for Frankie.
All right, so I usually have this picture in the back of me, but I have to show you guys this. This is my Lou Gehrig poster, and the reason why I have to show it is because Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez became the first teammates since Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig in 1936 and 1937 to have 2 consecutive seasons with 80-plus extra base hits. So you're looking at it right here. Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio, some of the best players of all time. Yeah, Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez are keeping pace with them. So as an Indians fan, we better feel blessed because we have 4 starting pitchers with 200 or more strikeouts. We just got Josh Donaldson. Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez are playing out of their mind, and the bullpen is coming back together. We are the dark horse to win the World Series, and I'm going to tell you guys, you better watch out for the Indians. Dude, they're no joke, man. I know the AL Central sucked this year, but don't discount the Indians. So towards the beginning of the video, I told you guys to remember the name German Marquez. One other name that I plead you guys, do not forget this, especially if you play fantasy baseball. This guy could get you 20 home runs and 50 stolen bases pretty soon. Victor Robles of the Washington Nationals. Yesterday, he had 4 hits and 5 RBIs, and just take a look because it was a thing of beauty.
On the move is Robles. The throw is on target, and he got in there. That's going to be a fair ball. And 3 for 3 now. And there's a long one to left.
if you really think about it, if the Nationals can keep Bryce Harper, they should be set going forward because Victor Robles is very young and he's producing. Juan Soto is also young and he's producing at a high level. And if they can keep Bryce Harper, Anthony Rendon, and Ryan Zimmerman, and then also they have Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer, that's a pretty good solid core going forward. And they can rebuild and, you know, kind of go off of that. So if Bryce Harper stays with the Nationals, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, guys, so real quick, our last 3 stories before we talk about the standings. Mookie Betts yesterday stole his 30th base, which gives him a 30-30 average on the year. JD Martinez might actually have what's called the Bizarro Triple Crown. So what the Bizarro Triple Crown means is that if he switched leagues, he would win the Triple Crown. So if he switched to the National League, he would actually be the front runner to do that. And then last but not least, the Dodgers lost to the Diamondbacks. So now that leads us into the standings of the 2018 postseason Major League Baseball picture. The American League East is the Red Sox, Central is the Indians, the West is the Astros. In the wild card, there's only 2 teams left for the American League. The Yankees are 1.5 games up for home field advantage over the Athletics. In the National League, we can see that the Braves have won the East. In the Central, the Brewers are a half game back of the Cubs, but we saw that the Cubs clinched a wild card spot or whatever it's going to happen. In the West, the Dodgers are now a half game back of the Rockies. The Rockies actually overtook it. There you go. In the wild card, we can see that the Brewers are up by 4 games for a home field advantage. The Dodgers are in second place, and the Cardinals, they're still hanging on at 1 game back. So guys, remember what I said. If the Cubs make the NL Central, then the Brewers will make the wild card. If the Brewers come back and beat the Cubs for the division, then the Cubs will be in the wild card. So guys, whether you're a Brewers fan or a Cubs fan, you're going to be all right. The only ones that you guys have to worry about is if you're the Dodgers or the Cardinals. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap it up for me today. We learned a lot in today's episode. There was a lot of history. There was a lot of different clips that we had to show. But also, guys, remember, I will be posting a second video today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so do not miss it. It's going to be pretty fun. I put a lot of effort into it, so guys, I will catch you guys there. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.